The speakers below are banged up and the once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. The once bright mural towers above you, suddenly. The once bright mural towers up. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
How do we? I was really... She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. And then there's a church. If I were a murder suspect...
Or spiritual. She could...
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter.
Trying to talk to the wind, the city. Whatever you thought would happen did not. And now you're just standing there, in the pale...
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold. The once bright mural taps suddenly. The once bright mural towers above you suddenly. The once bright mural towers suddenly. The once bright mural towers above suddenly. The once bright mural towers suddenly. The once bright mural towers suddenly. The once bright mural towers suddenly. The once bright mural suddenly. The ruin. The once bright mural towers suddenly. The once bright mural towers, even though you're sure you succeeded. all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died.
How do we? She's probably... And then there's a church.
Or spiritual.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way.
Trying to talk to the wind.
Then, if we're
walk the coast, buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold. A breeze, like go to the children of the big sea. The wind rushes away, leaving you where you were, on the rotting boards of the felled building.
Officer, are you okay? It looked like we lost you for a second. When you're ready.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other
We had bad words and said bad words. Bad. We won't. We learned. We just heard funny voices. We thought the voices were funny. We said what they said. Radio, what's that? We just heard that, you know. I heard people talking. It was like... It is time at last. My nasty speed read. DJ Flatios. Big Boy Davio single is here. Turn up the volume. No. Don't say bad words, stupid.
Why? What a splendid rendition these two rapscallions have offered us here today. Faultless memory.
A word when you're done.
The boy draws a jagged rock across the ground. It leaves a white, magnesium-based life form. We tell them, hell no. You're about to become a magnesium-based life form. The age of the primitive carbon man is done. No longer must mankind rely on slow-working background radiation to take us further into our genetic destiny. This is the era of guided evolution, and magnesium is the key. You are the first of your species, the next step in human evolution. An advanced magnesium proto-man who mags it up, drinks it down, and sniffs it sideways.
Detective, I believe they heard something. And given the poverty of this part of town, I don't know how they heard it, but I know the station they imitate, Speed Freaks FM. Yeah, local station, known for its kinetic music and aggressive style. Yeah, weird as it is, the situation is not connected to the murder. This isn't our business. Yes, mysteries like who killed the hanged man. Besides, maybe it was just a radio they overheard. They might not be old enough to know the difference. How would they have heard the voices?
The lieutenant shrugged.
Let's at least rule out radios before continuing. Maybe the washerwoman seems to know everything that happens here. Let's ask if she heard after you.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope there will be a radio. Ah, no. We play no radio here. There's one. Vicious knew every sound that belongs to this coast. I would know. Was that the nonsense we were spouting? No, I have no idea where they heard it.
Let's just get it out of the way as fast as we can. Contact dispatch from my kinema. I'm ready when you are.
Anything else?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. Come again, officer? Okay, officer. I have the GMS on the line.
Yo! It is. I got a few minutes before I gotta go back on air. What can I do for you, cop man? An asshole is a mouth for shit. And I'm puking. Song. An asshole is a mouth for shit. And I'm puking. Is that what this is about? Listen, it's not our problem if kids decide to tune into I don't understand. Are you asking if we can, like, play our station into people's brains? Right on, brother. We got to make sure everybody tunes into this sonic revolution. But we didn't, like, force it into people's brains. Got no idea how you do that. Short of them just tuning in on their favorite radio receiving device. Revolution Brain Broadcast. Got it, yeah. We'll look into that. Was there anything else you wanted? Nah, man. Thank you. This has been an absolute pleasure. Later.
The party has terminated the call. Is there anything else I can do for you, Officer 57? Over and...
In the cabin, you see a set...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? 50.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Okay, let's start from the top. There's no doubt the twins heard Speed Freaks FM. I still don't know how without a radio, but they did. I don't know what it means. I don't think the voices in your head are related to this, no.
The lieutenant gives you...
I don't know what to say to that, or what you want me to say. I'm sorry. Did we ask where the kids were when they heard the voice? We could ask where the kids were when it... And, Detective, thanks for this. It's been interesting.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the...
There. We were there. Uh-huh.
Full circle.
The boy turns the rock over. The once bright mural towers above you, saying, The once bright mural towers above you. You know a lot about radio. Enough to know you have no idea how or why those boys heard Speed Freaks FM in the... Knowledge like that isn't just obscure, it's unknowable. Dangerous theoretical facts like that are probably protected under the coalition government's Articles of Dominion. Title 14, you don't know how it happened, but the stores of your knowledge of you know where Ruby isn't. She isn't in the fishing village. She's not with her bullet under the floorboards in the shack. The alcoholics never mentioned seeing Ruby either. Idiot Doom Spiral gave an exhaustive account of recent events, but never mentioned seeing Ruby. Nor is Ruby in the church. The crabman, Tiago, is, but not Ruby. Some criminals seek sanctuary from sacred buildings, though the sanctuary laws were abolished decades ago. But Ruby wasn't such a one. And you do know one thing about radios, Ulan. Ruby dabbles in advanced radio theories. If she's here on the coast, she'll be here. And besides, something weird happened to the twins around here. It'd be nice to know what caused that. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs. And then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay. Why? True. And Ruby does have radio experience, as evidenced by her.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see...
A rusty ladder leads to the...
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180? Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Teleportation is not a thing. Okay, let's say teleportation is a thing. Wouldn't you need some kind of scientific apparatus to...
What are they talking about?
Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally thought impossible.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now. The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need... Zoot! Zap! Pow! Crinkle! It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear. Your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam!
Like a regular person.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear...
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding it.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Two rusty metal plates that slide up.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strip.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain.
He's quite proud of himself.
Yes, we have an exit, so let's get going. Time to investigate these passages.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing.
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were Fred. No.
He trusts your gut feeling on this.
Looks like our suspect. If she's once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do.
Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
You mean Morel? I don't see how cryptozoology and the...
If it gets that tense, the amateur zoologist might not be able to...
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this.
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
Yes. There won't be time for that once things go down. Matter of fact, I don't think...
If you must.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be ready.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars?
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hit. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio fleet. That's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself from it? It's an entirely... Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's unruly.
Really now? Check this.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its feet. You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
Right behind you, officer.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds and just...
So, what we are experiencing is...
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
The pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented, but we'll be...
Oh yeah. Way beyond. No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me, and...
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops.
If you've got something really important to say...
Turn this...
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She's carrying a 2-barreled front loader. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but there's only 3 meters between you and the machine. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
No, I didn't do it. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh, I knew the kitten had... But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus and his boys, man.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what...
A dull,
How the fuck do the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck.
That did make her forgive them. A little.
What shit? I told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too.
That really comes as maybe twist the knife. Just in case. Make her more desperate.
Yeah, that figures. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking? Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for...
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum. Yeah?
More questions before doing anything. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It's still a... She looks at the machine.
Oh, fuck it. Problem solved.
Ma'am, put the gun down.
Oh, yes it is.
You should know the words to say. You've been here because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same. A smirk crosses her face as she watches you stand there, mute. Then you watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me.
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you.
Our job. It went really bad. Fuck!
Get a hold of yourself. He needs your support now, too.
We clean up. It may take days for process that tent there.
Plain red tent. You see a rolled up sleep.
We should put her in the sleeping bag. So the
lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping magazines. You should look through assorted soft covers, mostly pop.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like...
A thick journal. The cover is worn like it's made of full... Schneller is a stationery brand. She had good taste and must have taken what she... The journal falls open. The large cursive of someone who, perhaps too confidently, many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagram.
We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly notes.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism. Esoteric radio technology. The short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Lord, you have no idea what she means. These are The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. The most recent entry, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run.
I don't think she killed a mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed.
This whole thing was a detour. Don't get emotional.
By the Hardy Boys, by Classier, by us. could have been Titus. Then again... Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. Somewhere along the way, we might have been fed a lie. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Stop. Just up ahead. You are prepared. Don't put away your friend. Raindrops slip from the barrels of your Villier's 9mm pistol.
Yes, I hear commotion.
Good.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning. Put your damn gun down. People are... Shut up! You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers...
Shh. This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or...
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like them.
He is facing overwhelmingly
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
Fuck, there's a third one. How did we miss something like this?
The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first. My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene. The Mercenary Tribunal.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
Pig fuck!
Oh, people are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer the leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. Suddenly, the grip shoot him in the mouth. No, wait. It's good you have that gun. It really is. Just soften him up. I'm barely keeping you together here. This is it. The big one. If you talk to him, peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have, then move down from that. Please. Of course.
I'm all up. Shut up!
The Mercenary Tribunal.
Get lost!
Pig fuck!
Oh,
no one...
With the leader. Shoot him. No, I'm barely keeping you together here. Peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
Sergeant Major Rao Cortiner, reporting in to burn this.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his click, click, click. The realization comes to you, like a picture puzzle coming to... No. Probably foster brothers. Elise was put into a foster.
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer. We're all sentenced. Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man. It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like.
Who?
Laylee.
We researched him. We contacted the ICP and looked at his birth records.
But they fucking put Laylee in a leaf compactor, and now these cunts finished the job.
There's real anguish in his voice. A drunken sadness suddenly engulfs him.
it's a mindfuck, Corty. He wasn't put in a leaf compactor. They're making it up.
Open fire. We can't have that. Interfere now. He sways from left to right, inspecting you.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same farm and got beat into place by the same sick fuck. Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Okay, good.
Fuck do you mean?
We've heard testimony. People say he was charismatic, a nice guy to be around.
Yeah. He liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflets. Squeeze a bit of kit ass here and there. Great fucking idea that turned out to be. If Laylee was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for sure.
Ready to open fire, Major. At your command.
Find his killer. Cop, I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're...
Big talk, but that leaf compactor won't leave his mind anytime soon. It's a small thing, but it got him off center. A small explosion expels the bullet from the chamber. With a puff of smoke, it hits the man square in the chest, like dice rolling. The kinetic energy of the 9...
Go ahead! Give it another try.
Another soft explosion, like a firecracker, goes off in your hand.
They teach you to shoot the chest in Copland? Stupid fuck. Kill him.
To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel, an Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. From the corner of your eye, he's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifle. You stare down the barrel of the gun. 0.4 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the... Is there anything? Anything. He's drunk. Drunk fighters overcorrect. Move right, he aims further right. You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks. The man tilts his head, trying to see. Watch out! To your left.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. And extremely 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest. Point. A look of happiness. His eyes seem unnatural. Here it comes. Death. You simply blink, then something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower... The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark. A distant blur as you recede in nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant...
You're bleeding out. Yes, keep talking. Stay awake. Look at me.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow a shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing... No, you scream. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires. You hear a roar of pain. A death scream. The sound disappears, like someone pressed stop on the tape. The hulking figure, too, is gone.
This is death. One more door, baby.
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago. You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. Take the door. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling...
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon we will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call.
The engine of a Caprice Canema.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
Sunrise, Parabellum. What happened? You shot the Major, and successfully, a firefight ensued. As retaliation, the rifleman tried shooting you. He missed, or you dodged. Then I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. Glenn did not survive.
This is not the first person to die in his place. He goes on.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital. Yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left. Yes. You were bleeding out by then. You warned me. I was able to disarm Cortana before he got to...
Thank you. Although...
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened. This is the one. He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured. We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage. 5. Glenn, Theo, Shanky, Angus. The fat one. He took a lot of bullets. Yes. All. Let's face it, officer. It could have gone a little better. You could have not missed.
+1. Ruby.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized. Yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies. His smoking, his hunched back. You have it worse. But he took a real beating. That cigarette has medicinal purposes.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it...
Dramamine? Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad. But still...
You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse. And drink water. Yes. The joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it out. Sunrise Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying. Cops like it. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt. I am relieved. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely. Yes, we have also completely failed. But that's okay. Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. The outer side, thankfully, no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. We will see.
If it's possible, then by pure willpower alone, you are going to have to become a psycho-locomotor.
No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Jean Vicmer is his name. The asphalt vanishes under the wheels of the machine. Ahead, back to that shithole, he says.
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site. I'm sure they're worried about you. I did. No need. Good. You'll need to be. Whatever that is. Not very. I have a concussion from the Major beating me with the butt of his gun. I tried to know. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see him coming. Easy now. How are you?
The lieutenant looks at you, teetering on your feet.
I honestly don't know. Do you? Because we can't talk to Everhart. The harbor is in lockdown. Yes, she left yesterday morning. To meet the board of Wild Pines. Oh, that is what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know? That was our job to find out, wasn't it? Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect. We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this.
See? There's that. You can do ballistics.
We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them.
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
It really is very hot.
That concussion must be making him dizzy.
No. Are you ready to limp? Good. Where do you want to limp to? Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think.
Next to the stack of bills, you see an "I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over"
A gift. I am not drawing my gun.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively. Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
It's hardly surprising.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You see the same two neon-lit shapes. A man and a woman. Only now a red...
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof, B triple prime, the island in the bay.
She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was.
She had a long time to think about it after.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust? I find that hard to believe. But at this point, what difference does it make? She was there that night.
She had a...
It also looks like there may be... I don't know. At this point...
What difference does it make?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is, so it is.
For a second he seems tired.
Okay, let's go to the fucking island. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone. Maybe There were boats there. We should ask around.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place. This was Cindy the Skull. The lieutenant crouches.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. And blood.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable? The fuel oil catches fire immediately with a low hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the lettering. The falling snow turns to vapor above. The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flame. The flames warmed him too.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells.
Officer, care to play a game with... Actually, never mind. The prick is gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but...
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute... Oh, he would have liked that. Violent lives ending violently. That's how we wanted to go.
Yes.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you...
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep... Even I can see that. I told you not, though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen. I'm not sure those were the loss of the men with guns.
Then we'll be ready for them.
Not much. Some things just...
So, they don't...
No.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Well, there's that music. And now, suspicious looking...
Those would be the dance music enthusiasts in their tent. She nods, rinsing another...
Officer...
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Look at you can barely walk. Doesn't look like nothing. Looks... What happened to you anyway?
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guilaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. Better than being dead. Hi. I guess you are. Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or...
Aye. See, that makes me not want to lend you my skiff.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just for...
A skiff with a small steering. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter hand. Have you made all the necessary? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
What? Fine. Let's blast.
Sad FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by... The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence,
let's go.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Technically, no.
He's right.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you...
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This...
ICN. This feels...
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ice. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and...
Nice political thoughts. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics, with blood dripping down your thigh.
This is better preserved than the others. You can still read the sign. No.
With its horns in the sky. The symbol of...
No, that's the...
A DeLorean-era symbol of insulin.
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is...
Old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift with makeshift... The lieutenant put...
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank. There's a red starter switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters.
That should do it. Downstairs, somewhere?
The tank is far from full. But there should be enough inside to keep it going. There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on...
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still numb. The blanket feels cold. You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the sleep. Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the Holy Suzerain of Mwindi and Insulinda. Definitely. I don't know, man. What very off. Just let her go. Listen to me for once.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome.
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions. She sighs and looks over.
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Just my scepter, my globe cruciger. Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then...
Anyway. No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do.
She looks at the headless Falcon Rider.
I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked the headless Fallen Rider back then.
With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, you stand against her, her body close to you, radiating warmth. With your eyes closed, you move your lips on her mouth. She is not kissing you back. The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something.
No, this has to end. More questions. Ask more.
It's not, but... I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it, yes. We've talked about it 1,000,000 times. You will get over it, just like I did.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything. Oh yes, she'll come around now. I made her love you again, Harry. Are you stupid? She's about to say something. Here it comes. She started to love him again. Her innocence, Dolores Day, fiddles with the handle of her airport bag. She has a pained expression on her face. See? She isn't saying anything. I don't understand. It was, she herself said.
We were bad for each other, okay? Turn into a bad person. You will get better. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know. I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can. No, Harry. We already tried again, and...
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice, and then give up. Not you too.
I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
She avoids turning them to you. They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get hold of herself, brushing her hair.
You know what I mean. A little down. You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now. It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stayed down for too long. You only communicated with encyclopedic trivia. I was so alone. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
No, too late now. You have forgotten your list, and the time is up. I am really going now. I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death, or war, or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? Of course. I was just thinking maybe you've torn your stitches. Are you ready to move on? Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed. Books and magazines, like most, are soft covers. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists among what is mostly commercial fiction and
someone's made themselves a home.
Not that you can tell. This is a digest. Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a new... The print in some of these is pretty small, though. This person has good eye. Green paint flicks. The keys rattle like teeth.
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here. I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient. The dial slides under the glass. Dark and silent. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
After you. I don't know. Don't worry. I have...
Harry, this reminds you. You're out of book.
Then it's extra good that mine is not.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just watch. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit. I did. I should have burned that console down. Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie. The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
The words, "I am an enemy commander," sound cold as iron from your lungs.
And what rank would that be, dog? A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the pits out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand, his gaze follows your motions. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.4...
Jacketed, military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time. No reply. His leg twitches. You went in too fast.
14th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your hold-up?
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the Army of the Revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. You're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. A so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter. Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans ce monde. take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Like you belong to the Moralist Party. I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too. Well done. I won't explain it to a minion of capital. It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? Useless now. Rusted away.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. Too, a lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's...
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
It's not an island, Dwight. It's a defensive fortification. Mm-hmm. How does anyone survive?
Now hold on there.
Supplies, vegetables.
How is your health?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to...
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. I don't even know what. Inferno. No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves. I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on. More and more each year. Ruins glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting. It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just could. He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during...
Hiding. Always waiting for her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. Women are more susceptible to bourgeois morals. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. What have I used it for?
Killing people.
It's a gun. I've used it.
Interesting. During...
There is no after the war.
So he's continued killing after. Go in straight. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate.
Exhaust him with proof. The gun, the murder, the scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
Not a lot of guns around that you...
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the Liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys, kid.
Damn, he saw you. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Imbecile.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony. Nothing else comes up. You see, the lieutenant, what? I'm sorry, this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does.
Officer, a word? I think we may have this. From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Gefreiter. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later. I can see that, yes. I'm not judging. Yes, good going. That should be our first priority. Ballistics. Let him cook here for a minute or two. We can have another look around the island for a sniper's nest. I think we should check out the post. Good. We are doing very good. He wants to confess, I can see that. We just...
You hear that? He thinks you're this.
Remember, he wants to tell us, but he...
There is palpable excitement in his tone. He thinks the deserter has more than just this case in him. 44 years here.
Oh, yes. And he hasn't spoken to it.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble.
Minions of capital.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or, indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, it's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different.
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
Pretty.
A drop of blood in the... That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Maybe 4.
Damn Maybells. Oh, so many this year too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. Classier. With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite...
You lost what?
Soft covers, serialized fantastique, and detective stories. Animal adventure. There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you. Quite old and grimy from... The springs screech as you lean on a small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you. Like a towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B. the red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area. The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of...
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window? I can see it, through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel rest...
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
It's only moderately effective cop work until we have the weapon. It will not be, how do you say it, booyah?
Minions of capital.
A drop of blood, that's right. Pilot or...
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dross.
I'm ready to die.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascies, for fascists, done his part.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop eating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his... while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you can...
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night?
The old man.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the
I don't understand. Do you, detective?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle?
A rifle's scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
You've got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
A tragic comedy.
A strange little engine seems to fire. The familiar put, put, put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house, stripped clean and draped in neon. But because of the racists, everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to pump, full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretend intense, like animals, like those boom. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists, every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon. That's all the rich really want. Sex. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car, until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a hole. The bacteria entered his brain and...
That is technically possible, although...
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 20... What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? No. Cynical design cockroaches like you erected a new, ironic version of it. We tore it down with honor. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront.
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture. I should have spared the bullet for a deformed monster of liberal capitalism. Shameful, really.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective?
The fat union man let...
Accusations of corruption. Push them aside with a sharp change of topic, officer. Put the heat on him.
Another...
Disappointment. So personal.
That deformed... That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time.
Of course. Maybe the Clares asked him to.
I'm not doing anything.
Again?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
There is more here, but you may not have the information to pry it loose from it. Get over it. Proceed.
I remember that, fatten. Not yet.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one. For him. Ha! Yes, of course. I hope it hurts like that.
He seems he reminds him of himself.
Glad. It's all them fucking. I didn't like the jealousy. Is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
This man has seen past her, like you did.
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning.
Past the fell building on the coast?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet-Brut.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of...
After she...
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the
No. Why would I do that? I did...
This implies that he's thought also a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
It didn't say Clausia in there. It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. Why would I need that trash?
A strange confusion comes over him from time to time. Some kind of aberration of the nervous system?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do...
You could tell she was a spook? From the document?
She had different color hair on the photo. And glasses. Forged. So...
He's setting it up for the bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur. I have my ways. Not in this lifetime, do I?
This one's gone. Make up somehow. Connect something else. Fast. No, it's not. Fix this now. Move on extra carefully. Be incredibly...
There's nothing to hold on to.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly.
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel... No, I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying. The day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why.
It's as if something put the thought there to leave the flowers.
What do you mean, put?
Lieutenant draws a line in
her.
The lieutenant nods.
Where is she, that Clausier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the... She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof.
He knew she knows. She was looking at the island. The old man has fallen silent, staring at your feet. The burn...
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you, but... Do you...
But... No, I don't want to.
He's sweating.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you heard something.
Maybe we could all fit in there. Actually, no. Not really.
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce?
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
This is no harmless old...
This fucking world.
No, listen. Listen now.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
This world? What are you talking?
The wind is cold. Your skin is crawling suddenly. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb. To then, it's still there. An unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hands rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs...
Be very, very careful. Yes?
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a...
We need a photo. No one will believe.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmids. With the sound of metal slide, you see the phasmid turn to him. Something cracks in the lieutenant. He's letting his pride get in the way.
The ampoule will produce a loud hiss. You're right. It could scare it away.
I'll wait. I'm on standby, he thinks. The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you. Its antennae.
We can't just leave it standing there. We have to do something, Detective. It could be connected somehow. We can't just leave it standing there. We have to do something.
Nothing changes in the cyclical braying motion of the creature's limbs. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. The pockets of these new jeans are perfect. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. Not familiar in a... By the way, the raw material... The creature's reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. You barely get to take one step. The invertebrate reacts with uncanny speed. The creature's reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.